momentarily. Wow, there's such a delay. The stream will start. Good morning, and happy Friday. Friday, October 20th, and it is 10 o'clock, and here in Falmouth, Maine, and it is a nice 58 degrees, and it's just going to rain again this weekend because, shocker, it rains every single weekend. We just can't get away with it. I think this is like 21 weekends now that it has rained, which kind of stinks. Alright, we're going to try this again and hope it works. Alright, I got the stream back up, and hopefully it's going to start working better this time because it was not working the last time. Alright. So, as I was saying, you are listening to Reset Friday. Wow, I'm not Reset Friday anymore. This is Iceberg City Production Streams on the very first episode of Friday Streams, and it wouldn't be a stream unless there were difficulties. And it seems like we're having a lot of difficulties this morning, and I don't know what is going on here. I have no idea why it's not working today as well as I would have wished it to work today, but I'm just gonna keep going with it, and then I guess the you can just go back and rewatch the stream afterwards, and hopefully it won't be as laggy. I don't know what's going on. It's probably my good old reliable main internet, which is absolutely terrible. But let's just get on with the show here. I'm not going to keep stalling. Anyway, so today is Friday, October 20th. A very big day today, very big Friday. It is the release of Super Mario Wonder, which you can probably tell. I'm wearing my Mario hat. It is the release of Spider-Man 2, and it is also, get ready for it, the release of Spider-Queen Episode 7. That's right, Spider-Queen Episode 7 is coming out a week earlier than I intended it to come out, but I did a lot of hard work on it, and we were able to get it done this week, and I wanted to get it out as soon as possible because it has been over a year since the last episode was released. So I appreciate all of your patience as the year went by, but I'm really excited for you all to see it because I think that this episode of Spider-Queen is the best so far. I mean, each episode should be better than the one before, right? If it's not, then I'm not being a good content creator. I mean, I guess every episode should be the same quality if I'm being a content creator, to be a good content creator. But to be an even better content creator is to be able to improve on what you did in the video before to keep bringing people back. And I really think that I nailed that one with Spider-Queen Episode 7. I really focused on shot layouts and shot by shot and how each character responds with each character, the placement of each character in the shot. It's a lot of different shots. It's not just wide shots like we usually do, where it's a wide shot with characters in it that are too big for the shot. Now everything is sort of like really scoped out and measured to be in the most precise way. And I think it looks, the visual is stunning, and the audio, I know my audio on the stream is pretty terrible. Believe me, the audio in the episode is amazing. It's the best it's been in all the Spider-Queen episodes. So I'm really excited for you to to at least hear it. Really, you could view this episode in two different ways. You could watch it, right? You could watch it and see the stunning visuals, as stunning and as it can be for a Spider Queen episode. Obviously, it's not really animated. Obviously, it'd be awesome if it was animated, so some of the fight scenes are going to look a little funky. Or you could close your eyes and listen to it, and you could experience a whole different story just because of how amazing and stunning the audio came out. If you're going to do it that way, I would suggest watch it by listening to it first, and then go back and watch it, watching it. Watch it by watching it. So yes, Spider Queen episode 7 is going to come out tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, like all Spider Queen episodes do. And I feel like I'm just talking to nothing here, because I don't think the stream is working. It rains every I think stream afterwards. I think it's slowly catching up to me. I think it's slowly catching up to me, the stream. So we're going to move along, and today we're going to there are a couple of special things. If you follow us on Twitter, you will have seen that in today's stream, those of you that are watching the stream are going to get a really special sneak peek preview of Spider Queen episode 7, and that is true, but that sneak peek is going to come up later in the stream, not right this second. Right this second, what we're going to do is, it's been over a year since episode 6, and probably 2 years since the first episode came out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back, and I'm just going to preview something, not preview, but I'm going to walk you through the story thus far. It's weird, I never put my camera on, and now I'm looking at myself. So let's, let me get up what I wanted to get up here. Alright, let me turn off this here. I'm still getting used to, okay, turn that off, and let's turn on the display capture. Alright, so hopefully, let me get rid of File Explorer, you don't need to see that. Alright, so here we are on YouTube now. I'm really hoping that my face isn't covering up too much of YouTube. Maybe I will get on the stream on my phone, just to make sure that my face, see, because I'm getting used to the camera. I'm not used to the camera. This first episode of the stream is going to be a lot of me figuring out the tech stuff. How do you even view the stream? How do I even view the stream, you guys? How are you viewing it? Because it doesn't let me view it. That's weird. You guys, and because there are people that are viewing it right now, but I can't watch my own stream. That's really weird. Alright, whatever. That's fine. So we're going to go back and we're going to start from the beginning of Spider Queen, just so we can get so I can refamiliarize you guys with the story. Alright, yep, live streaming, here we go. Alright, so, oh, thank you for saying that I look awesome. I appreciate that. Alright, so we'll start with episode 0, The Battle of Fire and Ice, right here, which is, I considered episode 0. The Battle of Fire and Ice takes place long before the actual Spider Queen story does, and it takes place on the planet of fire and ice, and there is a massive war going on between the Icians and the Firans, who are the inhabitants of the planet, who used to live together in harmony, but because of a shift in the planet's orbit, the fire territory sort of like shifted into the ice territory and vice versa, which ended up creating a conflict between the two, because they were blaming each other, thinking they were trying to steal their land, stuff like that. And the three main characters of the Battle of Fire and Ice are Corey Sandbrand, who is Miken's father, Kyan Fireflame, and Bakashi Kashibi. Everyone knows Bakashi from Spider Queen. And it's a much younger Bakashi. The Battle of Fire and Ice happens. You find out they send Miken to... Bakashi takes Miken and sends him to Spideria. The planet of Fire and Ice is destroyed, and all the inhabitants are killed. You find that out in the episode 0, The Battle of Fire and Ice. If you haven't seen it, So I should just go see it. Wow, that was 3 years ago that we made the Battle of Fire and Ice, and it was sort of a sequel um, to Universe Warriors Final Chapters. All right, and then we go and we have Spider Queen episode 1. Myken and Spider Queen: A Friendship is Born. I'm gonna open this one up. Uh,
Iceberg City.
You'll tell that it's a lot different than most episodes of Spider Queen because it was before Spider Queen went into full production. This is sort of really episode 1 that Myken and Spider Queen: A Friendship is Born re-upload. I don't know why it's re-uploaded. Really, this is sort of the pilot for the series because there's no artwork in it. There's no story. Well, there's a story. There's no artwork, is what I meant. And it's a different cast. This was before the show was cast. This episode came out before the show was cast. And it's just this background for the whole thing. And it's me as all of the characters. And then Sophia as Spider Queen. I don't know whatever happened to Sophia. She kind of like ghosted the story. Ghosted the show. I asked her if she wanted to come back for episode 2. And she never responded. I don't know. She sounded great. She's a great voice actress, and I hope she's doing well. I don't know what sort of happened to her. She stopped talking to me. But, yeah. So, episode 1, Myken and Spider-Man: The Friendship is Born, is audio only. It's an audio only episode. It's an audio only episode, and it features a different cast. Just me and Sophia. Then, a year later, I mean, you see we made the omake. The omake is the little short at the end of the episode that I guess I didn't put in. Then a year later, we started with episode 1, Queen of a New Era! Yay! And it has art now, and it has a full cast. And the script changed a little bit. Alright, so the script from Myken and the Spider Queen: A Friendship is Born to Queen of a New Era, they're both episode 1 of the series. The script changed a little bit, and I'm going to do in the Spider Queen podcast, which is going to be coming soon. The next episode of Spider Queen podcast will be coming soon. In the Spider Queen podcast, we listen and watch a video episode, and myself and cast and crew members were going to comment on the episodes. We already did one of them, but the next one is going to be on episode 1, and I'm thinking about maybe we'll do both episode 1s, the pilot, and then episode 1, Queen of a New Era, and we'll find out, and we'll see the differences, because the script is similar, but it's also different. I think that Spider Queen episode 1, Queen of a New Era, which came out 2 years ago, I think it has the most views out of any Spider Queen episode so far. It has 331 views on it. Let's see how many likes it has, because I doubt that many people liked it. And I think that's the most out of any other spot. You didn't see that episode 7's already on there. It's privated, so no one can watch it, but it's already on the playlist. It's already on YouTube. Surprise! I put it up there because you never know what's going to happen. Let's check on it. So 331 views and only 18 likes, and one of them was me. Unacceptable. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to be one of those guys. So episode 1, let's go through episode 1 of Spider Queen, and as we redo the story, I don't know, my suggestion was for everybody to go back and rewatch the first 6 episodes between now and between last week and this week. Obviously, that's not something that can always happen. So anyway, here we go. Let's look through episode 1. We're just going to sort of skim through it. So, you have the little introduction here with Orzik, Spider King, Spider Queen's father giving a little introduction. And then, let me go through it on the timeline like this. And then, you start with Orzik, Spider King, Spider Queen's father, and Spider Doc in the throne room. And you can see that they look massive compared to the throne room background. And it's not even in full 1080p, YouTube HD 1080p. Episode 1 is not in HD, and it is not in 1080p. Episode 7 is in HD and 1080p. It actually might be the first episode that's in HD and 1080p. I'm not sure. But, so the first episode is, it starts off with Orzik, Spider King, and Spider Doc. They're in the throne room, and Orzik is sort of talking about how he's going to die, and then they're wondering what happened to Bakashi, because they sent Bakashi out to fight in the Battle of Fire and Ice, and during this is also sort of picks up off the end of episode 0. Bakashi's spaceship.
He is due any day now. Up
Bakashi's spaceship lands, and they find that there's a child in it with a note, and that child is Mikan, and basically the note explains what happened in the Battle of Fire and Ice, and that Mikan was sent here, and that Bakashi's going to come home to train him. So Orzik decides he's going to take in the child, because Bakashi thinks that Mikan is going to bring a great change to the universe, and Orzik finds it as his responsibility to take the child in, not only because, his friend is asking, but also because I think in a way Orzik feels bad for the kid because he doesn't have anywhere to live and any friends or family. So he takes him in against Spider-Doc's well wishes, because Spider-Doc is the advisor and he has to advise against things. It's not that Spider-Doc doesn't want Mikan to live there. It's that as the advisor to the throne, he needs to, try to advise him. That's a 7-minute scene. And Spider-Doc takes forever to exit the scene. And then the Spider Princess comes in, Spider Queen, and this is before she mastered her powers to become into her human form. Because basically, the form of the Spider Queen in here that's what all the Spiderians look like. They're all spiders. But once they can start training with their magic, they can turn into a human form like Orzik and Spider-Doc are in, so that they're it's more like a universal form, and then all sort of creatures in the universe have their universal form. Spider Queen, or the Spider Princess, or Zenthia, whatever you want to call her, she has her own special spider form where she's white when all the other ones are a different color. It's sort of like her special. Alright. With her rainbow eyes. It's really kind of cool. And he sort of explains about how Mikan's coming to live in the planet, but it's actually his son and Spider Queen. And he lies to her, saying that it was his son, but when he was born, he sent him away, so that he didn't want Spider Queen to know, and he didn't want Mikan from another planet to feel exile, feel lonely for not being the same. So here's Mikan in the hospital. They're all greeting him for the first time. They wake up. He wakes up. And then he follows off Spider. I'm not going to do that. Just doing major plot points of the episode here. They go off. They go up into the tower. They look at the kingdom. Orzik is sick. And then, they start talking. Mikan goes off on a quest.
Yeah. No, it's...
They'll climb the mountain to find the herb that will save Orzik. But it turns out that the orb is just a legend, and then it won't actually save him. And then at the end of the episode, Bakashi shows up. At the end of the episode, Bakashi shows up.
By looking behind you.
Bakashi! With Orzik.
Fun fact, Bakashi's, this is before Bakashi had a player model, before Bakashi had a character model. So we just took Orzik's body, and I colored it in, and put Bakashi's head on there.
On his deathbed, and Mikan's power on the rise.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that I had... Look at how fun the original credits were. Oh, is so much going on there. And then we have a trailer, and then Mike and the Icy Spider. Then we show up for episode 2. The episodes only get shorter and shorter, I think. Is episode 2 in 1080p full HD? No, it's not. So now they're talking about Mikan. They're worried about what will happen if Mikan's power... if Mikan unlocks his full power because of his Icy cells, that he won't be able to control it and it'll freeze the kingdom. And then basically Bakashi comes and he's talking to Spider-Doc and Orzik Spider King, and he says, I'm going to train Mikan. There's this really evil force. His name is Flareon, and one day he's going to come here and he's going to try to destroy our planet, and I think Mikan is going to be the only one that can stand up against him. And that's sort of what they're talking about for a really long time. And then Spider-Doc introduces Mikan and Spider Queen to Bakashi, and Bakashi's a giant. And they go down into Bakashi's special training dojo, where they start training on how to use magic with Bakashi. And Mikan struggles to use magic, Spider Queen doesn't. Mikan's really strong, Spider Queen is really strong with magic, Mikan's more strong physically. And that's pretty much that whole episode. Again, I really suggest you go and watch them for yourself, because I'm not doing them justice. Then we have episode 3, the Bakaka-Laka technique. And this episode is pretty much all Mikan and Spider Queen and Bakashi training. There's a time skip. There's a couple of time skip in it. And then Bakashi shows Mikan and Spider Queen his ultimate technique, which is let me see if I can find it on the timeline here, which is the Bakaka-Laka technique, which, here it is. It's towards the beginning of the episode. And basically, it's Bakashi's special move, the signature move of the Spider Queen series, and he channels his Zar to release in a very powerful explosive power. And hold on, I just exit out of the stream, and you can see he uses it, and it's this massive explosive beam. And Mikan thinks that this is wicked cool. Wow, wicked, me using my Mainer accent there. Mikan thinks it's wicked cool, and he wants to be able to use the Bakaka-Laka technique. And Bakashi explains that one can only use the Bakaka-Laka technique if you've mastered the balance. And mastering the balance, you also learn in this episode, is when you're able to master your Zar, which is your ability to use magic power, and your physical strength. So they're evenly matched. And then at that point, you can use these massive techniques and spells and abilities because your body is fully in tune with its power. But he also warns of the dangers of the Bakaka-Laka technique, because by using that, it's not like a normal spell where you're, using your Zar to create a spell and magic. The Bakaka-Laka technique uses your physical strength to actually expel your Zar from your body into a massive into like a very effective massive attack. And by doing that, if you're not careful and you accidentally expel all of the Zar in your body, you're going to die, because you need to have Zar in your body. So Bakashi warns, he's not going to teach Mikan and Spider Queen that ability, because he knows how dangerous it is, and that everyone else that has tried to use the attack has perished trying to do it. So Bakashi says, don't use it. I'm not showing you how to use this technique. You guys aren't masters of the balance. And yeah, so that's something that's really important to remember. The Bakaka-Laka technique is super dangerous, and anyone that uses it that's not Bakashi so far has died. Bakashi is the only one who has survived using the Bakaka-Laka technique, the signature move of the series. Alright. And Mikan, yeah, that was so cool. And then Mikan and Spider Queen, a few months passed, and they battle it out with Bakashi to show, what they've learned. And then at the very end of the episode, Spider Doc comes in.
You must postpone training and report to the...
to tell them that Orzex Spider Queen has perished, has died. And then the next episode, the truth revealed! Who am I? This one might be the first one in YouTube HD 1080p. Let's see. It is!
That someone is planning to revolt against the kingdom.
And so this takes place the very next morning after episode 3, and Bakashi reveals that there is a coup against the kingdom. There are people that aren't agreeing with Spider Queen becoming the new leader now that Orzex Spider King has died. And then Spider Doc's like, yo, it's only been a day since Spider King died, and people are already trying to revolt against the throne. And
Spider Queen.
Huh?
So Bakashi is sort of being like, we gotta get to work here, we gotta make sure everything is safe. So he makes Spider Queen the new queen, and then Bakashi tells Mikan,
The kingdom is
in danger. And as its protector, it's your job to protect it. Because Orzex Spider King on his deathbed said, one day, Spider Queen, you're going to be the queen. Mikan, I want you to be the royal protector of the throne. Because obviously Mikan can't be the leader of Spideria because he's not Spiderian. But Mikan doesn't know that yet. Mikan doesn't know he's not Spiderian. Spider Queen doesn't know he's not Spiderian. The only people that know that Mikan is not Spiderian is Bakashi and Spider Doc. And at this moment, Bakashi tells Mikan that he's not Spiderian because Mikan needs to start learning how to use his ice powers to be able to protect the kingdom.
Starting to be supposed to do. Going to do it. Mikan's. No.
And then Mikan gets really upset, like, my whole life has been a lie, why haven't you told me? And then he thinks that Spider Queen knows, but Spider Queen doesn't know, and he gets really angry, and he runs away.
I want you to put him in one of those
and then Bakashi reflects on what had happened in the past, If I didn't save this kid, he would have been killed. And Bakashi is thinking about that, and then Bakashi runs out after Mikan to try to explain to him what's going on. And Mikan isn't having it. Mikan isn't having it that what happened. He's mad that Bakashi sent him here. He's mad that his life has been a lie. He's angry at everyone. And then I think at the very...
Wait a minute. Who are you?
And then at the very end, a mysterious voice appears and starts talking to him, and Miken's like, "Who are you?" And then what's the omake in this
you,
one?
Mikan.
I'm awake.
And then we have episode 5, which is the girl that lives in the shadows, Seer the Undead,
Queen, the series.
Mikan
which takes
celebrate-
place, right after. And you can see that
Except
even from episode 4 to 5, there have been some changes, and that was that we finally got a new background. We were using the same background for the forest in the last one, but I had a new background made for episode 5 for where Seer hangs out, so that's why it's a little different when they in the recap here. Then Makashi leaves, and then Seer shows up, and Seer is the girl that is half dead and half dead and half alive, which I know that doesn't make sense, but pretty much her whole existence is a consequence because her parents were necromancers, and necromancy is forbidden, and sort of the consequence of that was that she was born that she was, half dead, half alive, which is sort of weird. But she has this mystical powers, and she lives in the shadows. And so she talks to Mikan about how, like, oh, Mikan, suck it up. You don't have it that bad. Sure, you aren't from here, but you got to live in the castle. You got to live in the royal family with a family that loves you and family and friends, and that he really doesn't have it that bad. And she sort of like turns it around and is like, well, maybe I. And then Mikan sees, oh, well, maybe, life isn't that bad, and they do love me, and maybe it didn't go the way I wanted it to go, and maybe I got bullied for being different, but at least I have people that love me. And that's sort of what Seer does, is sort of
Wanted to try their hand at necromancy.
talking to him about, and then Seer's sort of talking about her background. And then Mikan starts thinking about his past, and how all of his friends and family stuck up for him even when he was being bullied for being different.
They really do.
And then Orzik Spider King shows up. The ghost of Orzik shows up after being dead to sort of, talk to Mikan and apologize to Mikan for lying to him, but to say that, I love you, Mikan, and I always considered you to be my actual son. And then, it's a really touching moment between the two of them. And then Seer comes back and says that was her power. She can use her powers so you can talk to people that are dead. And then the episode ends because Mikan hears a big explosion coming from the direction of the kingdom and runs off to try to save everyone. Before he runs off, he makes a promise to Seer and says, Seer, one day I promise I'm going to make it so that you can coexist with the living, and that you can come out and you can live with the other people, and you don't have to live in the shadows. And Seer says, don't make a promise you can't keep, because she knows that that's not possible. Mikan says he's not going to give up on his promise and runs off to try to save the kingdom. Then episode 6 comes. Finally, yay, episode 6. Why are episode 6 and episode 5 different in the playlist? Let's fix that while I'm here. Okay. That was weird. In episode 6,
Iceberg.
the throne belongs to me, Spider Hermit attacks.
Bad. At least he had a friend. Mikan didn't have time.
I think it
The
was
audio got a little
Mikan.
jumbled here, and I don't know what exactly happened. Hold on, you'll hear it.
What was that?
You hear that? I have no idea how that happened. I think that happened after I uploaded it to YouTube. Yeah, it's just in that one spot of that video. It's not in the episode, not the whole episode. So Mikan runs off
Syrian?
to go and try to help,
Guess it makes sense.
to find out why there's an explosion in the kingdom. Spider Queen talks about how she realizes it's true that
Are you all
Mikan
right,
was in
Spider-Queen?
Spideria, and then the explosion happens. The guards come in to explain that someone's attacking the kingdom,
I brought
and that it's her
gifts.
uncle that's attacking the
Uncle, you're
kingdom.
best.
And now
Hey,
Spider Queen's
Uncle,
having a little
I
flashback
the castle with me and
to when
Dad.
she used to hang out with her uncle, because Spider Queen loves her uncle because her uncle used to hang out with her when her dad didn't, because her dad was the king and was busy.
No,
My lady.
And then Spider Queen makes the decision that she's going to go out and she's going
Show
to
yourself.
fight her
And
uncle
look at
herself
how much you've grown.
to try and
why are you doing
convince him to
this?
not do it and to
This
try
isn't like
to
you.
Isn't it obvious why?
stop him.
I want.
And then she explains, you always said that you didn't want to be king and that was too much and you like living free and that's why you went and lived in the mountains. And then he explains that he was just doing what his place was. He wasn't in line. He wasn't firstborn, so he wasn't the one that was responsible for being king. But now that her father died, he should have been the one that was king, but instead he made his daughter queen, and he's mad about that, and he's come in to try to take the kingdom over for himself. And that's this whole episode. And then Spider-Queen, I do believe, starts fighting him at one point, right? Yes, he does. She does. And then he uses a poison spear, and then Bokashi comes in and tries to save the day, and then takes it. And that's the end of the episode.
After Orzik, Spider-Queen.
Anyway, I definitely suggest you go back and rewatch these 6 episodes before episode 7 comes out tonight, which definitely is not here at the bottom of the screen. Episode 7 is definitely not already on YouTube. Just privated until tonight. I definitely suggest that you go and watch these 6 episodes, because I didn't really do them justice by skimming through them and talking about them. But key takeaways before episode 7 to remember is the different characters: Mikan, Spider-Queen, Spider-Doc, Spider-Hermit being the uncle. Other key takeaways: Mikan is an Ician, he's not Spiderian, but because he grew up as a child and was sort of on Spideria during those developmental stage of life, his Ician cells sort of remained dormant and didn't awaken, and he kept and sort of grew some more Spiderian cells, and because of that, he's not really good with magic, and he can't really get his magic to really... Yeah, he can't really use magic, end of story. But he's pretty strong. Other things to remember: the Kakalaka technique is a very powerful signature move of the series, but it's very dangerous, and everyone that's used it but Bokashi has died. These are all really important things to remember as we go forward in the story. And that was sort of your in-depth recap of Spider-Queen. Oh wow, all this chat's going on. I'm sorry. I let me see if I can get to these questions in the chat now before we move on. Oh, it's just everyone. Yeah. Oh, Gloomy Squid's in here. Hey, how you doing? Special Beam Cannon. That's funny. Oh wow, I didn't realize there were people in the chat here. Yeah. All these things are really important. I'm reading them all and catching up in the chat. All right, yeah, awesome. All right, Gloomy Squid, I think you'll be happy. I really focused on episode 7 on showing off your beautiful characters, your beautiful characters. I really showed them off really well, and I think they were rendered. They rendered well in this episode too. So all the details really went through, so you can see the beautiful characters that you drew. All right, so I promised that at the end of this stream, I would show you all a preview of episode 7. And I'm still going to do that. I'm not going to show you a preview on YouTube. I'm going to show you a preview through Premiere, because I don't want to open the YouTube video yet, because the YouTube video isn't out yet. I mean, it is on YouTube, but it's not out yet. So I'm going to show you a little preview of episode 7, like I promised. Keep in mind, this episode does have a lot of action and a lot of fighting in it. So it's going to look a little funky because of the way that I edited it together. But I think it's fun. It sort of brings a more comic-y aspect of it together for the episode. And I'm going to show you here. Let me pull up Premiere, and hopefully Premiere is showing now. Let me make sure OBS is working right. It is. All right, so now here we are. We're on Premiere. This is the working timeline. If you want to see how much goes into an episode, this is the timeline and the audio. So this is the audio file, and then all of the things that go into the timeline of making the episode. And it is 13 minutes long. The episodes just keep getting shorter. They get longer again, but yeah. So this is what the whole timeline looks like stretched out. This is what it looks like stretched out again. I'm gonna show you a little bit of the episode. We changed this episode a little bit, and I know I mentioned this in previous streams and previous update videos, as in I was trying to shorten it, and I think I shortened it too much, but I shortened it a little bit by taking out like the 5-minute recap of the previous episode, and instead just sort of did what Naruto does. You know, in Dragon Ball Z, in Pokemon, they have the narrator at the beginning, and it sort of does a little recap of what happened in the previous episode. And I was doing that, and then it took up like 10 minutes of the episode. No, not really, but it took up a long time. So I decided to cut that up and sort of do what more like what Naruto does, and then just show, a scene from the previous episode. No, nothing like that, like a really short scene. So that's what I did. So I think there might be a little like previously or last time in Spider-Queen, then just goes into the scene. And usually when I do those recap scenes, I straight up pull footage from the episode before. Like, I don't re-edit the episode. I don't re-edit the footage at all. I just take that footage and put it in, because that takes up time. Why would I, re-edit something when I already have it made? I didn't for this episode. For this episode, I re-edited everything, including the recap, the recap scene, because I got it. We got a new background. I got a new background. Before the Broken Kingdom scene, there was no Broken Kingdom scene. It was like I made it look dark. We finally got the Ruined Kingdom scene in, so I re-edited it to make it to the best quality that I possibly could. So I'm going to show you just a minute. I'm going to show you up to here, which is like a minute and 20 seconds. And that's also just sort of the recap scene. But this is what I'm going to show you. And that's all you're going to get until tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, when the full episode comes out. Alright. So, I am going to turn my camera off. Actually, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm not going to leave my camera on. Alright. Here you go. Spider-Queen episode 7. You get to see it in a small working window. You don't even get to see it in full screen yet. You have to come back later to see it in full screen. Alright. Enjoy.
Iceberg City Productions presents
Actually, before I do that, someone in the chat, let me know if you can hear this.
Spider-Queen, the series.
I want to make sure that the audio is working. So I'm going to over here in the chat menu now, because I want to see if you all can hear it before I play it. There must be like a really weird delay going on, because I think that I'm much further in the stream than you guys are watching. Okay, sweet, so you can hear. Alright, awesome. Yeah, it's definitely, the stream is definitely like a 30-second delay or so between what I am talking and what you guys are seeing, which makes sense. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to click play. You're going to see a minute 20 second preview of Spider-Queen episode 7. A lot of hard work went into it, and I actually made it there's a behind-the-scenes video that's going to come out as well of the making of Spider-Queen episode 7, and it's going to show some of the work that was done, and that how we almost didn't meet the deadline today. Even though I guess technically the deadline was next Friday, the 27th, and I decided to move it up to today because things were looking really swimmingly in the editing process. Things were going really well until yesterday, when we were only like 5 minutes into this 13-minute episode, and Premiere stopped working, and After Effects was crashing, and Premiere was crashing, and there wasn't enough room, and I was like pulling my hair out. I think I was on the computer editing from 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday to 7:30 at night. That's how long I was on trying to save this episode. I was on from 10 o'clock in the morning to 7:30 at night trying to save this episode, because After Effects and Premiere, and I don't like either After Effects or Premiere. But, I mean, I like Premiere. I do like Premiere, and I do like After Effects. They're just really difficult sometimes. So yeah, I was working a lot yesterday trying to make sure that this video would happen. So here we go. Here's going to be your minute and 20 second preview of Spider-Queen episode 7. Enjoy.
Iceberg City Productions presents.
Hold on, I'm turning off my camera for this. Alright, enjoy.
Iceberg City Productions presents Spider-Queen, the series. Recorded at Iceberg City Studios. Spider-Queen, the series. Episode 7.
Previously on Spider-Queen.
Uncle, why are you doing this? This isn't like you!
You are so naive, my dear. Of course I wanted to be king.
Even if what you say is true, Uncle, I will never hand the throne over to you. This responsibility was left to me by my father. I won't hand the throne over to someone who has wreaked havoc on the kingdom.
So, you choose to fight. Well, I didn't want to hurt you, but you leave me no choice.
Time to put my training to the test.
Pay close attention because this is a finishing move. Goodbye, Spider Queen. Poison Spear!
Oh no, she doesn't have time to dodge that. It's all over.
Spider Queen, duck!
Clash of Forces!
Spider Hermit.
And Myken!
And that's all you get. That's all you get. Let me turn my camera back on. I hope you enjoyed jump cuts, because there are a lot of jump cuts in this episode. A jump cut is like this. This is what a jump cut is. You know, you go from that wide shot, this wider shot,
Wanted to be king.
jump shot to close-up shot. And a jump shot or a cut or whatever it is because there's no
To be king.
Even if
fade between the shots. Is pretty much what it means. A jump cut is when there's no fade between the shots.
I wanted to be king.
what
But I went back and rewatched this episode like 4 times after I finished editing it, and I don't think that there needed to be fades. And in anime, there aren't really fades between shots in anime. That would look kind of weird. But yeah, jump shot, jump cut, 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 jump cut. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. That comes out tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Trying to catch up on the chat here. So, yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy it tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. There was a lot of hard work that was put into it, and I really wanted, and I'm glad Gloomy Squid's in the chat. I was really focusing on showing off your artwork in this episode and listening to some of the advice that you had given me from previous episodes. Gloomy Squid is one of the executive producers and art director on Spider Queen the series, and has given me some really good tips as we go on. And I think what's really cool is that we learn from each episode, we learn more and more and more and make new episodes and improve on the previous episodes. So that's kind of fun and that's kind of interesting. We're just about going to wrap up the stream here. But yeah, make sure you tune in tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Spider Queen Episode 7. Leave a like on that on Episode 7. Comment on Episode 7 on what you liked, what you didn't like. And Episode 8 will hopefully be made by maybe before Thanksgiving. I sort of got a lot going on right now, but hopefully episode 8 will be made by Thanksgiving. I think the audio is done for. No, it's not. I don't know. I'll have to check on that. All the recording is done for episode 8. For sure, all the recording is done. I know that. I don't know if the actual audio mixing is done. It might be. I honestly can't remember. I think I did both of the audio mixing for episode 7 and 8 at the same time, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to go back and redo that. I'll have to look at it. I'll have to look into it. Hopefully episode 8 will be by Thanksgiving. Hopefully. Not a year and a half. No, not a year and 3 months like this one was. I promise episode 7 will come out sooner than episode 8 will come out sooner than episode 7 did, in accordance to episode 6. So, anyway, thank you so much for watching. I know we had a little bit of a weird stream at the beginning where the stream wasn't working properly and was lagging and it was cutting off. I honestly think it's just main internet. I've been having a lot of main internet problems recently, or just internet problems, but hopefully that won't be the case going forward. Thank you for watching Friday morning stream episode 1. Ash Chu in the chat says, wait, Bakashi gets hurt. No, that actually happened at the end of last episode, Alex. Ash Chu. That happened in the end of the last episode. Alright, so, what was I saying? Right. Thank you everyone that joined the chat. Prestigious PG, Ash Chu Ketchum, Gloomy Squid. Thanks for everyone that watched the chat here. That watched watched the stream. This is Friday morning stream, episode 1. However, we're not going to be doing a Friday morning stream next Friday. I'm going to be out of town next Friday. Maybe I'll do a stream. Maybe I'll find a way to do a stream next week. I'm not... Bakashi didn't learn how to dodge. Maybe I'll do a stream next week. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But I'm going to be out of town next Friday. But maybe we will. Maybe we will. Maybe I will do a squid. I'm looking at chat. Maybe I gotta eat breakfast. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. Maybe I will do a stream next week. Maybe I won't, because I will be in New York City next week. I don't know. Maybe I will do a stream. Maybe I won't. Anyway, if not, Friday morning stream will probably come back the week after. Alright, everybody. Thank you for watching the stream. Take care of yourselves and enjoy Spider Queen Episode 7 coming out tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Enjoy your Friday.